Scum on Sunday, and fucking the European tour's back on. Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock Leeds United podcast. My name's Adonis. You can find me on Twitter at the Adelaide. It's a very good hello from me. Joining us to discuss Leeds United 1, Crystal Palace nothing. Fuck off back down south. I swore before 30 seconds. Damn it! God damn it!
Damn.
It's so Prince of Darkness.
Hello,
Ewan Metcalf.
All right, everybody.
The Warden of the North, Sam, LUFC, at LUFC Warden, Sam.
So, good evening, everybody. Hope you're well.
And our youthful ambassador at Juicy Rob.
Evening.
Nursing a hangover, so let's
shout
really
today. It was yesterday that was a bad time.
Yeah, getting older now, mate. They last longer.
Space interpreter, that's a good one, because you did the space for us, didn't you, on Twitter? So we'll do them from time to time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. They're good fun then.
Raumdeuter Rob.
A what?
Raumdeuter. It's a space interpreter, isn't it?
I just like the word now. I didn't know what it means.
I was going to say. I thought you were swearing at me in Austria then.
Could also be.
That's what that Bayern Munich guy calls himself, isn't it? What's his name? Muller. That's it. Raumdeuter.
Oh.
Anyway, start it off by just saying a very happy birthday to two midfield enforcers, Calvin Phillips and David Batty.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday, lads.
Leeds-born legends.
And on the same day, that's mental, isn't it?
Crazy.
Weird, innit?
Yeah, it's always meant to be.
Something
North
in the
Leeds
stars.
midfield maestros. It's Sagittarius maestros. A few and far between, but me and Batsy share that.
Yeah, you do.
There you go. And my mum.
There you go. Good company, see.
She was an enforcer, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Oh.
The full name. Adonis Star! Get inside, what have you done?
Adonis Joey Store. Get yourself back indoors now.
So, Ewan, you're on the beers?
Yeah, I am.
You defeated COVID then?
I'm a survivor, yeah.
No.
You know, I've got it in my Twitter bio now. Yeah, just one of them where I haven't had a beer for quite a long time, not being out. So I'm celebrating my final night of incarceration. I'm back free tomorrow. I'm going a little bit stir crazy, but I've been able to do the pods, and you know, I've made the most of it. I've slept a lot, which I haven't done for about 35 years. So yeah, I'm pretty good with it all. Yeah.
You made the mess of it. And Wardy, you've been laying some concrete, is that right?
Well, just preparing the floor.
Euphemism.
Laying
Massive shit.
the big pipes. Yeah, the big pipes. No, yeah, just leveling out the floor, ready for it to be poured at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Got landed on us at 4 p.m, so managed to get that done and back in time, which I'm very surprised about.
It's good to have you back, Wardy,
lads.
It's been a while.
Yes. I know it has, yes. Anything for you, lads. I'll rush anything.
And
He's out there grafting in the Clivet Classic as well, man.
Yeah.
For the podcast listeners, Wardy is wearing an Ajax top from 95.
I think.
There you go.
Yeah, 95.
Good year.
Papa Cliver on the back.
I was 3 years old.
10. I would have been 10-year-old then.
And Rob, you've been on the Juicy Rob.
Yeah, literally. Celebrating the win, actually. After the game, took it a bit too far with some friends. Went up to the Peacock for a bit. Although they called time really early. It felt like they'd called time really early. But then I realised the kickoff was at 8:15. So it was like we got less time in the pub after the match, which really confused me more than I needed to be confused. And then, ended up going out on a school night on a Tuesday. So, suffering immensely yesterday, but feeling back to good health today.
Oh, in the good name of Leeds United, though.
Oh, it's
that was very confusing, that story. There was so much confusion, and I was quite confused myself. Getting around to your chat. Gordon White says, "Good evening, fellas."
Hey,
Gordon.
Paul Hunt, smiley time. Evening, lads.
Nice
Evening,
one, Paul.
Paul. Nova, good evening, everyone. And
Nova.
Nora,
Hello.
show off some German. There you go.
Go on, Donny, get your German.
Raus.
No,
Lederhosen. Papier and bitter.
Let's not talk about my German. I've been here like
Ich wohne in Leeds.
5 years, and I'm just not very good at languages.
They're good at English, aren't they? Fuck it.
Yeah.
So, Leeds United won, Crystal Palace 0.
Fucking get
Those
it in.
time-wasting bastards wasted just enough time to give us a penalty. Beautiful. First thoughts. Who wants to go first? Wardy, go on.
Go on then. First off, fuck off Palace, you time-wasting, moany little bastards. Fuck off down to London, you plastic cockney bastards. It's not even London, is it? South of London, you're closer to Brighton. Go fuck off. I hope it was a horrible long journey home. There we go. That's just to start off. Do you know what? It's nice to get some luck for once. We haven't had luck for how long? It feels like seasons now we haven't had luck. And you know what? Luck was on our side yesterday in terms of VAR, in terms of Benteke still being a donkey now. I didn't even know he was still going, to be honest. In terms of Melier, just getting that off the line, luck was with us. And you know what? That's the sort of shit that turns form around. Look, it's a great way to win when you're playing a team that wants to count down the clock from minute 1 all the way through the game. You know, when we beat a team, in that sense, it's brilliant. It wasn't stellar Leeds, and we know it's still a bit off, but it's 3 points, and it's the manner that you win it. That's why you love football. That's why you love it, for them moments there, right at the very end, nicking it at such a vital time of the season. And I don't know about you lads, but I was celebrating that penalty against Wolves more than that one. That was just pure relief on Tuesday. I was just, once you get the penalty, the VAR, you think I didn't even see a handball, and then it goes to it's like what another stage, and then he gets the penalty, and then he has to take the penalty, and just all goes in stage. And it was just relief for me when that went in. And I'm not a fan of that little, judded run up. I'm not a fan of that at all. But if anyone's going to do it, it's Rafinha. He's got.
I was happy with it. It was good. Just fucking the ball went in. That was the main thing.
It was a shit penalty though. Like I tell you what, when I seen him do that stutter, I looked down from my seat. I didn't even see the ball go in the net. There was that moment of breathlessness, and then I waited for everyone who was stood around me to start going mental. But as soon as he did that little hiccup thing, I was just head down. I'm not watching that. I thought he fluffed it.
Here we go. You've been called out, Rob. Look at this. Bloody hell! Does Rob want to get off his phone?
Do you know what I'm looking at? I was actually getting a stat that I found earlier to say to Wardy about Benteke, because I also was surprised about how poor he was the other night. But I saw something today that my head fell off when I read it. Benteke, when he scored his brace against Burnley last week, has gone on to 86 Premier League goals, which is more than Fernando Torres, Eden Hazard, and Luis Saha. And he's now only 2 league goals behind Bergkamp and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh my God,
that's what happens when you stink the Premier League out for 40 years.
I was going to say,
you know what I mean?
That's why I had my phone out to
can't be real. Can't be real.
Can't
be real. He's played in Premier League since he was 12, though. He's been here 40 years.
Stank in the place out.
Those stats blew my mind, and when you mentioned him then, it reminded me I wanted to tell you boys that tonight. It's literally made me head fall off when I read that.
That's mental, that. I almost don't believe it.
He was shit on Tuesday, and that's all that matters. So
who was that Chelsea player who never used to be able to hit the target, and then he fucked off to Atletico?
Timo Werner.
Torres.
No.
Not Morata.
Morata.
He's the only other worst finisher that I've seen in the Premier League in recent memory. Fucking terrible. I mean,
it was really bad.
As far as headers go, 2 yards out, floated in.
We've done well this week.
Goal.
We've done well this week because we've had bloody Mope and him that have probably got us 4 points.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
I don't know how Benteke missed that header though. It was easier for him to score than miss.
It's his bread and butter, isn't it? It's not like a 12-yard volley. It's like his bread and butter. My thoughts. Listen, I was on Monday, and as I said to you, we've got a scrap for every goal, every point, and that's exactly what we did. I've got to say, massive improvement on what we've seen recently. I found myself cheering nothing, just winning the ball in midfield and not letting them out their half for the first 15, 20 minutes. I thought, first 15 minutes, when we just kept winning the ball, back that tackle from Phillips set the scene on our mate who we looked at this year, Gallagher, whatever it's called. Yeah, there were a few of them tackles early doors. They couldn't get out of their own half. The press was great. Everybody was doing it together. We looked at it. Just set the scene for me. And like I said, I was finding myself just come on, as they were bombarding him and creating half chances and looking like they were going to create something. There's still that little bit of a lack of confidence in the final third that's costing us. I think we'd normally create 3 or 4 good chances in that time, and I didn't feel like we did. But what a massive improvement! And I watched the first half. I kind of watched it on my own, where the kids were dipping in and out, and then I think my lad had come back he were at Leeds United on Tuesday, so my eldest came in, and that made sort of youngest follows him. I'm not kidding you. When he gave that penalty, my little one came up to me, bless him, and went, Dad, feel my heart. And you could literally feel it pumping out of his little body. You could almost see it going through his ribs. He's right. He's got no on him. He's like a chip. And he come up and went, feel my heart, Dad. And it was like beating out. And that's how I felt. And as you say, them stuttering kind of run-ups to which I'm doing now.
I'm going to say the irony of that.
Stuttering run-ups, I know, yeah. The stuttering run-up for the penalty was like enough to finish you off, wasn't it? But God bless him, he put it in the right place. And you know what? It takes a special kind of Jedi level of football knowledge and a goalkeeper's balance to know that you can put him on that weight on the wrong foot and he just can't dive. So as much as it looked a little bit lucky, I think it was very premeditated. And like I say, we're scrapping for every point we can get at the minute. And to take us up to like 15th, could have gone 14th last night if Liverpool had bagged another one or Everton had got that goal. And it's staggering, isn't it? What a mad league. I think we brought the championship with us.
Yep. Okay. Rob?
Yeah, pretty much echo everyone's thoughts. I thought Forshaw controlled the midfield again, played phenomenally well. What impressed me about the wings against Palace was the determination. Heads didn't drop. Like Dan James was scrapping for balls. You expect it from Calvin, or we've come to expect it from Calvin. So when you see people like that getting stuck in, or Cooper or Llorente don't shirt tackles either, they're straight in. But to see Dan James bombing down in second half down that left-hand side and sort of applying pressure, not just a press, but actual with a bit of menace, a bit of grit, sort of half hacking at people, but not stupidly to give away a foul, which is something else I thought we did get back to basics again a bit with game management. And from the 67th minute, they started time wasting, exactly like Wardy said. They did what Wolves did. And I'm grateful it come to bite him in the ass, because it was quite frustrating atmosphere at Ellen Road on Tuesday, very much like the Wolves situation. The fans really did try and get behind the team as much as we could, but Palace were offering nothing. And from the 70th minute, even earlier, you could see that they were trying to play out for a draw. I don't know where Vieira, what drugs he was taking to say that they had the better of the game. I think on every metric, on every statistic, even if you're not into stats and you're just watching the game of football, I don't know what planet or what game he was watching, because we clearly were in control of that game and should have probably.
He has to say that, though, doesn't he? He's got to say that.
I think he does. And to be fair, I thought they created probably the more dangerous chances without really threatening. I think that was all they had on us, really. The chance that Benteke got, and a couple of chances earlier on with Ayew when he was breaking, doing really well against Struijk. I thought,
Ayew had Struijk on strings.
Yeah, he did a little bit, and I thought, good one on Struijk, because he kept at it. We weren't having a good time, and he did keep at it and kept going, didn't he? And then the minute they put Dallas on him, Dallas broke his soul, didn't he? Yeah. He literally broke his heart, his soul, his footballing brain. Everything went. There were a couple of times where they were going at each other all the time, and on about 65, 70 minutes. What's his name? Zaha stopped going for like 50-50s because he just thought, I'm not going to win this. He's tackled me with his face. He's been on the floor and
he complained about that as well.
He's been on the floor and he complains about everything, doesn't he, with that silly grin on his face. But he's tackled me on the floor. I still can't get past him when he's literally down and injured. He managed to tackle me. So I'm good on Dallas, man. I thought he stuck at his task admirably. And you know what he did, which Alioski used to do? He wound him up verbally as well a couple of times, and he was getting at him, wasn't he? And just So he did. He schooled him a bit.
There was a bit of needle. What we didn't have against Brighton, which was a bit of like needle. There was a bit of needle in the game. They wanted it, whereas like lackluster Central against Brighton. But I think they turned up mentally as well as physically on Tuesday. It was good to see.
Definitely.
Yep. Absolutely. No remorse for anything that Zaha gets after.
No, it's just face. It's a punch.
That ludicrous tackle on Rafinha, which wasn't looked at by VAR. I mean, at least we weren't told that by the commentary team anyway. But like, he's absolutely gone in on Rafinha. He's like landed on his shin with his full weight on studs. That was dangerous. That was extremely dangerous. You can break somebody's leg doing that. But yeah, nobody talked about it. He didn't stop. He played on, and then in fact, when the ball went out, he went over to yell at the referee some more and whinge and try and get something for it. It's just completely ridiculous. Fuck off, you voodoo doll looking motherfucker.
Yeah, he does. He
Piss off.
It looks like one of them cheese, them stringy cheeses.
Cheese strings,
Yeah, it looks like one of them.
Eyeballs are popping out of his skull. It's not right, man. It's not right.
No, it's not.
Okay. My first thoughts then. The energy is like the currency of life, and to get yourself out of this rut that we've been in, you do need to. You're gonna have to force it, and that was what I loved about Leicester, about Spurs, and about Palace, and that's what I hated about games like Southampton and Brighton. Is you need a tremendous amount of heart and work rate and ethic and energy to get yourself back into form. You've got to force these things. You know, we weren't ever going to be handed anything. We're Leeds United. Everything's against us. The whole universe is against us. And that bit of luck that you're talking about, Wardy, is exactly what we got and what we deserved. But you can also say, like, what the fuck was Gay doing? However you say his name, with his hand up here in the penalty area, is completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Take it.
I think the last time we got a bit of luck was against Forest, I think, and Roof handballed it into the net.
Yeah, fucking hell. I remember you could see that in the stands as well. It was like, if I can see that up to the end of the stadium, how the ref not seeing that?
Yeah, so energy, and I think that was typified by Tyler Roberts and Dan James especially, who made as many tackles as anybody on the pitch apart from Dallas. I've got a few stats here. Look at this. Look at this research.
I can tell you're in bloody lockdown.
Yeah, you're getting a bit professional.
Can you believe
it? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Dan James here. So tackles 4. Basically, the second joint with Forshaw, Phillips, players like that, and only Dallas had more, and that's because he was taking Zaha out. A lot of numbers on there, so I won't bore you with that too much, but very interesting. One more thing just from here is that Roberts, a lot of energy, not much end product, unfortunately. 17 carries, only 2 were progressive. And if you look at the dribbling, he made 3 attempts, but none were successful. But I thought, in general, his energy and his work rate were a lot better.
Yeah.
I'd have still started Joffrey for me. I'd have still put Joffrey on instead of Roberts. I agree with the other changes Bielsa made, but I would have put Joffrey as the 9 and had Roberts on the bench. But that's just
it was a nice looking midfield, wasn't it? With Click, Forshaw, and Phillips. It was a sort of midfield that I remember doing really well in the Championship before Forshaw got injured. It worked really well. You got the energy of Click up top, and for minute 1, he was just pressing straight away. And I think they got a free kick within the first couple of minutes because he just pressed someone and just twatted him straight away. And you just think you miss that energy from Click. He goes a bit unnoticed sometimes, doesn't he? I didn't think he had his best game, but the energy he brings and his pressing is just second to none. It's brilliant.
But the thing is, you don't get 11 players having their best game, but when everybody's playing in the right positions and knows what they're doing, they get away with it more. And that's what happened. I didn't think Click had a great game. I think Roberts was great. But because they're playing in the positions that they're caught and that they're kind of comfortable in, and other people were playing in their preferred positions around them, we didn't have to have everybody on top form like we've had to have recently. We kind of got away with one a little bit. And I thought the Forshaw, I called it on Monday night, that having Forshaw and Phillips in the middle and kind of patrolling that area and getting back behind the ball when we didn't have it was a massive difference, where they just couldn't walk through us anymore. And, James's energy, listen, I still think he's got a lot of improvement to do on the ball. But those 2 block tackles at the end that won us back... That's as good as an assist. It's as good as a goal. Got the whole crowd at it. He encouraged everybody. You know, I love to see that stuff. You don't have to go smashing through somebody. Just don't make it easy for them. Harass them. You know, the way he didn't stop on the first one and he blocked the one from Chiarte. And then the ball ended up at Roberts' feet in the middle of the pitch. I mean, it was superb. I love stuff like that. Loved it.
It was that. I love that too.
Speaking about Forshaw then, among the 289 outfield players to play at least 300 minutes in the Premier League this season, Forshaw's covering the most distance per 90 minutes of any of them, 12 kilometres.
What a return.
Mental, isn't it?
Not bad for a man that's didn't kick a ball for 2 years, is it?
Unbelievable.
You wouldn't think that. You think, like, I don't know, if he was the new signing that Rajazani was saying and we'd signed him in the summer, like, how much would you pay for him, and how much would we be bigging him up if he was the new signing? It's immense, and he's fair play to him. He's done fucking brilliant.
Amazing.
Yep. Good. Okay, a few of your comments then. Gordon White, I think we had a bit of luck in the last 2 matches. We wouldn't have got the penalty if we hadn't gathered round the referee. I think we do need to do a bit of that, a bit more of that. Other teams do it to us. Yeah, exactly. Paul Hunt, karma lads for our honesty. First 15 was amazing. Tyler did it well. Bandy says that was just how we would start games in the 70s. And after all the noise, we didn't see Conor Gallagher. Disappeared a bit, didn't he? Paul Hunt, spot on, Ewan. Great penalty. And Dallas old manned him. And Michael Brown, Forshaw return has been a blessing. It's no coincidence that Leeds' upturn in form has coincided with his return to the first team. Even more remarkable, given the fact that Forshaw has been out for 2 years. Nova Zaha is a right little knobend.
True.
Can see why Scum signed him. Decent player, though, to be fair.
Their best player was Ayew, I think, especially first half. He looked tremendous first half. He's faster than I thought. I don't know why I thought in my head he was slow, but seeing him on Tuesday, I was like, actually, he's got afterburners really if he wants them.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
fast.
Made a nuisance of himself, didn't he? In the same way that James was doing. He doesn't give up the ball very easily, and he's very, very strong for a small lad.
He is very strong. Yeah, tenacious.
Bone No Hewson. All the best, lads. Love the show. Bono. Okay. What a name.
Bono's there.
We've had some right names this season. Bandy, I thought Calvin was sulking at the role he is playing, but post-match he said that he doesn't care if he plays in goal as long as he gets a game. Emma, Dallas was immense. Rafinha class. Dan James ran and never stopped tormenting them. Roberts, and I've been severely critical, but what a shift. Work rate. Well done, Tyler. Forshaw, a new £40 million signing. Right, magic moment.
Ooh, there was quite a few to pick, wasn't there? Quite a few good little moments happened. I'll go for one that actually happened after the game. You probably have seen it, and I noticed it at the time on the Amazon coverage when Dallas said high-fiving Rafinha and cups his balls and says size of them. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And I could see when he'd done that, I didn't hear what he said, but I knew he'd done something down low, and I'm like, what's he's got his hand down there for? But you can detect it, and you can hear him say size of them, and that's brilliant. Dallas is an absolute character. He comes across so professionally in all his interviews.
Both
you can tell he's an absolute character.
Rewind it, Dad. I'm sure he just grabbed his balls. I was like,
I do feel like the Ellen Road pitch is the only place where sexual assault could be, like workplace sexual assault could be celebrated somehow.
Yeah.
It's a weird move, that is.
Bollocks to do that. Yeah. Even when Rafinha scored the penalty, there's no smile on his face. He was just like, everyone else is going mental around him. He's just like, I'll just do that. I stutter and run up. But yeah, that was it for me because just brilliant to see. And it's the sort of banter that you just do with like your mates that you come off the pitch with on a 5-a-side game or a Sunday league game, wouldn't it? So that was good to see. I'm glad the camera's got that.
Okay. Cupping balls.
Cupping balls. That's my favourite moment.
That's your magic moment, Wardy. Yeah. Nice.
You know.
Rob?
Mine would probably be normally when the players warming up pre-game, they warm up not far from where I sit in N2, so they sit sort of down in front, and the media, let's say, whoever's doing the pitch side stuff. So it was Clinton Morrison, and I think Michael Owen. There's a few of them down there. Normally when the the disability section and the small kids go up for autographs because of the COVID times and things. People are quite hesitant and they've not been getting much, interaction. But every single one to a man acknowledged and interacted with that sort of small section of fans that's down in that corner that go up with the little autographs. I'm not talking about the people with signs begging for shirts and things like that, but genuinely the same faces that I see every week going up and getting autographs. So for me, that was kind of a magic moment that happened pre-match. Was it felt like more of a community atmosphere at Ellen Road again. There was a lot of interaction between punditry, fans, players, coaches, everyone that came down to that little area to warm up. And I think, that was quite a nice heartwarming moment for me. They took a lot of time to interact.
Those signs are weird, aren't they? They're odd. There's like some
40-year-old men do it.
40-year-old bloke with front teeth missing, and he's got a big sign. Phillips can have his shirt, and then it comes on eBay next week or something.
I don't know who tweeted it, but there was a good meme from a little kid came on the pitch, I think, at the end, which obviously the club were trying to stop, and it was a little girl, I'm sure, and she'd gone to Calvin, and someone had taken the image, and it looks like he's gearing up to like lap on with her, and someone had put, "Can you say year-long stadium ban, you little twat," or something like that, and like made it into a meme. It was quite funny.
So somebody else put, can't be punching kids like that, mate.
You have to put them in the group.
Never happens in other industries though, does it? I mean, you don't see anybody in McDonald's going, can I have your name tag, Susie or whatever. You're in magic moment. I see. I gave you the chance to think now, but you're going to say that Waddy's taking it again.
No, I'll pave the way for you to do the obvious then, Donny, because I usually nick yours. But my magic moment was I like the James two block tackles one after another. I think it showed exactly the kind of heart and determination. And the real thing that we've lacked, which has pissed me off royally, is that not letting others just have it easy against us. And I think that just embodied everything that I've wanted to see in the team. So without stating the obvious, penalty in the goal, which is massive, that had been my magic moment because it just got me off my seat, and me and my boys all sort of simultaneously were like, "Yeah, get in," and that's what you want in it, is you show some guts and you get your gut check done and you show that you've got enough about you to go and stop them playing. And ultimately, I thought he was a pest all night. And once he just gets that little bit of guile to be able to make a bit more space for himself and just calm down a little bit, settle a little bit, I think he's going to be a really good signing. So that was mine. I enjoyed that. Probably with the Phillips tackle, they were the things that I've loved watching back again. Brilliant.
You said that you knew you weren't going to steal mine, and then you did.
Get away!
Look at that. Well, I've got to do the penalty then. I think it's just one of those things where you never expect it. You never expect Leeds United to get a penalty. I mean, there was that time where I think we went 59 games or something like. It was like a full calendar year, or it was just ridiculous. So as soon as I saw the replay, I thought, that's a fucking penalty. I was pacing around like, you better give that. You better go to VAR. You better go to VAR. And then he did. As soon as he went over there, I thought, we've got it here. We've got something. And then when he does that thing, and then you're like, oh fuck yes.
To me, it looked like
Nora's going, calm down. We need to score it.
It didn't look like Kevin Friend wanted to go over to give it. I think unless VAR would have forced him to do it, he wasn't going anywhere near that screen. He gave that through Britain team.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good game though. When he was giving refs a bad time, I thought I'm liking the way they're letting a lot more go now. It's not a free kick every time somebody makes a tackle or kind of physically gets involved. I thought he managed it pretty well.
Calvin's tackle on Conor Gallagher, I've seen refs blow for that and give it as foul.
Well, yellow
Conor got straight up and
fair play to him. I think there was a few of them. There was a couple where we, by not play acting, got up and got on with it. Probably saved them getting a card early doors. So I much prefer that game.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird though, doesn't he? He's got dodgy eyes. I don't really trust him.
It is a weird scenario though, VAR, because I do feel like that challenge on Rafinha obviously didn't mean it. like he's just trying to stop himself. Well, maybe you did mean it. Maybe you stamped on his leg.
It
Who knows?
It did look
but
quite
if
accidental.
the ref gets sent over to look at it, I do feel like there's kind of an obligation then for him to give it.
I mean, you know,
it's a weird situation.
Would they do the sign and like does that automatically mean that they're going to give something, or can he do that and then point for a goal kick?
I think it just means based on what he's seen on the screen.
Right,
just for visual, yeah.
Right, so I'm now making a decision based on this. Is basically what you're saying there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because if he has to reverse a decision, like that ref who gave a red at the weekend, I can't remember which game it was, and then he went to the screen and did the sign and said, got the red card and said like it's cancelled. Give him a yellow instead. It was the Man City game actually, right? I think.
VAR's got much better as well. Compared to last year. It's just about getting used to do the things it was invented to or brought about to do. So.
Yep. Okay. A few of your magic moments. I won't be able to get round to all of your comments. Sorry about that. Nora says Rafi looked so happy about it afterwards. What a smile. So she's talking about
that little dance,
samba dance.
Hey?
Yeah.
What was all this kind of stuff?
I know. Yeah.
That's what happens when you get your balls cupped.
Me and my kids have been trying to imitate it all week, trying to do the dance. Yeah.
Do you want to show us how far you've got with it? Or?
Oh, I fucked that guy after the watching, but it's something like that. And then it's that. And then it's...
Can you...
Macarena.
Oh, yeah. Can you get all three of you on the screen doing it? That'd be great.
They're all out, but yeah, I will do. We'll get on one week and give you...
Next time, yeah.
A red practice.
The Andy Bentley stretch, another Stretch Armstrong impression by Millier kept us in the game.
I was expecting that to be blown as over the line. I really, really was.
That's one of them ones where normally a keeper does that. Oh, it's gone wrong way. I can't get to it, and he just like spun around and how he got to him. And everybody intake of breath or what. Yeah. My missus was like, "That's over the line. That shut up, shut up. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're worse than them. Shut up." It's terrible.
An insight into how Ewan talks to his wife, everybody.
Listen, don't get me started when a Leeds game's on. Just leave me alone.
I'm the same.
Do we have any idea why it was kicked off at 8:15? Because even though we're on Amazon Prime, so were Norwich and Newcastle same night at 7:30. Because Palace only brought half their allocation, didn't they? They were only 1,500 because they didn't sell out because of the times. No one could get back from last trains and so on. So I don't know because it was just a bit of a. I don't know why that's popped into my head.
They did it with the Liverpool game as well last night, though. Liverpool, Everton was 8:15, and all the others were
early doors.
So whether it's so you can watch the last half an hour of that game, or being the big game of the day, I don't know. It's a crazy one.
Yeah. Staggering the times, aren't they? To keep those viewers hooked for as long as possible, to milk them for every advertising dollar they can get.
If Newcastle Norwich wasn't to your tasting, watch this 1-0 late penalty goal.
It's just it's a carry on for people who travel to games, isn't it? Not just home, but away fans as well. Like Palace would have sold more, definitely. I mean, not that I'm bothered too fussed about Palace, but even as the attendance, it felt not flat, but there was some spare seats around me, which doesn't normally happen. And then one of the people who sit next to me messaged saying that it was just too late for travelling back to the Midlands where they come from and stuff. So it's just a bit. I don't know. I just didn't know if anyone knew why, because it's a bit of an horrible kick-off time that for any.
Sod's law. There was absolutely loads of spares on Tuesday, and I couldn't go out. I was gutted. I kept
saying, exactly.
I was going to go. Yeah, I'll have it. Oh, okay, I'm not allowed out.
Yeah, it's another one of those things, isn't it? It's another argument for independent regulation, for example.
Yeah.
Which came up in the program notes. I don't know if we want to get into it, but
yeah, we definitely do.
What you smoking, Angus?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. I'd like to see a debate on it from people who actually know what they're talking about.
It's hard to
and don't have vested interests.
I had to take a man seriously who took us on a tour of Burma, innit, when he's talking about Maoist China, and then also a man who's brought out two of the worst third kits I've ever seen in the entire history of Leeds United. I just can't take the man seriously.
And the Gaviscon badge. And the Gaviscon badge.
Yeah, and the Gaviscon.
Like he makes some good points.
He means
like,
well.
I mean, I wouldn't want the, I mean, imagine that if we had this sort of COVID contract type affair where, one of Boris Johnson's mates has a kit manufacturer or something, Johnson and Johnson kits or whatever, and all of a sudden, they're getting some ridiculous contract from Leeds United, like, oh, we've ripped up our Adidas thing and now we're wearing the Johnson and Johnson kit, and I don't know. It all seems a bit dodgy to me. I don't know anything about it, but anyway.
The Dominic Raab Foreign Office third strip for our away tour of Myanmar.
Yeah. Sponsored by Pretty Patel.
The independent regulation we've been waiting for.
Oh, can you imagine? Matt Hancock comes in trying to peddle some kind of Leeds United PPE on the side. He's next to a neighbour's mates, dogs, pubs, cats contract.
Oh dear God! Fucking hell. Paul Hunt, Leeds have to have a bit of hard. It's in our DNA, I guess. It's hard. Nora, we were just lucky. It was the most obvious penalty there ever was. Gordon White, magic moment. The massive intake of breath by 35,000 crowd, just as Rafinha does a hop, skip, and a jump before he kicked the ball. And Nora, Adonis looked like he was getting a heart attack when we got the pen. I was so scared we wouldn't score it because it seemed too easy. Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, I saw that scientists found that there's no correlation between the vaccine and all these heart attacks that people are having. Wow. Crazy, that science facts. Weird. But maybe some people on YouTube or on Facebook know better. I don't know.
Probably not.
Anyway, best wishes to the fans who suffered cardiac arrest, and I'm really glad that things are being done about it. Like, people are being aware, and the game stopped very quickly.
Yeah.
Charlie, is it Charlie Wyke? He's been discharged today, the young lad, and he said that if it wasn't for just 2 weeks before, because of what happened at Newcastle, there was some extra training given to some training ground staff. And his statement today had said that if the first team coach, I think it was, and his manager had both been trained 2 weeks before, and if they hadn't have given him CPR immediately like they did, the chances of him pulling through were probably non-existent. So he did it. I only read it on Sky Sports, so I don't know which bits have been paraphrased and edited and cut out, but the statement was quite nice because he's been discharged today. So best wishes to him. And
the guy that helped save his life was the same guy who helped Fabrice Muamba. So it's
wow.
Yeah, so amazing. But it's weird how it's happening. I think we just hear about it more as well, particularly the crowd. Sometimes people sort of flake out in the crowd and you never really find out when it's becoming talked about, which is a good thing. And how it's never happened at Ellen Road, I don't know, because I think I've been close once or twice. So not wanting to trivialise the fact that people have had a serious health scare.
Yeah.
But Jesus, Ellen Road's a hotbed for fucking people like they're about to have an heart attack.
Yeah, I mean, here's a good one for you. My dad had a season ticket. He first started dating my mum. Really proud to show her off, brought her to a game, stood with all my mates. It was in the Cop in, I think we'll have been late 80s, something like that, mid to late 80s. And as soon as we scored, she fainted and he had to cart her off to the West Stand. And she was just the atmosphere that just completely toppled her over. And my dad was so embarrassed. He was like, oh, fuck's sake, I'll have to take her out. Carried her over her shoulder to the West Stand. But obviously, she's fine and everything like that. But it just shows, like, for someone who doesn't go often, for example, it is a hell of an atmosphere, especially when you score. And I imagine in the 80s, it was pretty naughty. But yeah,
that's the only downside I can see so far to these. When you can sell your season ticket back, which I thought was a great scheme, so you can sell it back and people can buy it. If obviously you can't make that game or whatever, is that you're getting people sitting in areas of the stadium that potentially don't suit. There's a particularly really, really elderly chap that was sat sort of in the Cop in the middle, like a few rows down from me. And you could tell he wasn't having a good time, because he didn't want to stand up all game. He wanted to sit down. I mean, it's one of those, where's the expectancy lie with the club there versus the people who are buying the tickets? If it's someone who's never really been to Ellen Road before, it might be their first game and they've just managed to get a spare. And then, but yeah, I agree with you on that kind of thing because imagine if someone who was I imagined his frailty, like he looked quite frail, and he was sort of saying to some people around him, "Look, do you mind sitting down?" And they were just like, "Well, no, we stand up in the Kop, mate. We're not sitting down." And he was getting a bit tired on his legs and whatnot. I think stewards eventually moved him seats, but that's a good point you mentioned, Wardy, then about people not understanding the kind of cauldron and the atmosphere, and it can get on top of them mentally and physically.
It's intense.
Okay, so we've had a goal flash. And the Andy Bentley has said that Pontus has scored an own goal, but it actually looks like Sergi Canos. So it's good. Tottenham 1, Brentford 0, and I'm definitely hoping in this game for a lot of Brentford injuries
and as well
suspensions.
They've got 2 days less than us rest as well. They've only got 3 days till Sunday, so
a red card for Tony if he's on would be good. Actually. On Sunday.
Take that.
Yeah, maybe Prime TV's not that bad. They keep scheduling the opposition teams a few days later than us.
It swings and roundabouts though, lads, isn't it? Because we've got Chelsea and City away within 3 days of each other.
Yeah, we don't mention that just yet.
Get them out of the way, that's what I say. Get them all out of the way as quickly as possible.
Stuttered against Watford yesterday. They
did play the second string though. They had made 7 changes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Then the other lads have got to come back in. I think it's one of them where we've got to sort of try and get something out of those games, haven't we? Yeah. Anything out of those 3 games, just get something, get a couple of draws, a win, maybe. Perfect.
We did it last season. We could
City last season, weren't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chelsea we drew, and that was a
Chelsea drew, Man United drew. We can do it, can't we?
It's doable, yeah, definitely is.
We need to recapture that form. Was it April the month, wasn't it? It was not March, it was April.
Yeah, it was the last 10 games, wasn't it? We had one of the best forms in the league, I think. Was it Man City?
First and second, yeah.
So yeah, I think that, and the other thing is you got Bamford and Ayling coming back. So I mean, we're pretty much up to full strength.
Yeah.
So.
And although it might be hard to believe, aren't we 6th or 7th in the form table for the last 6 games now?
Absolutely.
I don't understand how that's happened, but long may it continue.
It just shows how crap a lot of the others are, doesn't
it? It just shows how unpredictable this league is, especially when you condense the games all into this mad December period. Very odd. It's just so unpredictable. I mean, we said it the other day, didn't we, Ewan? That team that played in the first half against Spurs and the team who played Palace, they're that kind of energy and a little bit of quality and a little bit of luck. You can get victories against anybody. So we've got nothing to fear and we've got nothing to lose.
We're 6th in the form table, just had a look there. And a lot of teams around us, I mean, from what we're talking, let's get the table up.
Everton haven't won in 7. Everton, they're on the same. There's us, Everton, and Southampton all on same points, same goal difference, -7 as well. And Everton are not winning 7. Brentford, I think, are on a slip and slide of they've only won 1 in 5, I think, or drawn 1 out of the last 4. So we can easily. We're only 3. I think Adonis, you mentioned it already, mate. We're only 3 points behind. Depending on what they do tonight, but we're only 3 points behind Man United in 10th.
Correct. Yeah. If we could get ahead of Scum by Christmas, what a lovely Christmas that would be! Let me tell you.
It made Boxing Day travelling to Anfield a bit better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, Everton bottom of the form table. They're doing bad.
Okay, final one on Palace then. I need a man of the match from each of you, and very briefly why you picked them as your man of the match.
Someone else go first, because I'll probably just rub. You and go first, mate, because I'll just take yours if not.
I'm going to go Forshaw, just because I think he's added something to the midfield we haven't had all season or for quite a long time now. That composure, that ability to be able to play tight, can play a ball. Got a few shots off as well. He kind of had the perfect game. He made a few blocks. He took a couple for the team where he made fouls where I think one he got booked, where he just knew he had to bring somebody down. He just had a really complete game. And like I say, I think the thing, if you look at games like Brighton and other games where we thought, what's going wrong, which, the answer to that was quite a lot. One of the things that was unusual was people were outrunning us. And he's added extra kilometres and extra legs into that midfield, which has helped us to sort of keep going in games right to the end. So I'd have to say Forshaw, partly because of his experience of not having played for such a long period of time and come straight back in, and could argue he's probably been man at match in every game he's started. There's an argument for others, which I won't steal your thunder, but I'm going to go Forshaw on this occasion. Because, listen, I played in midfield. The way he plays, it takes a special kind of player to do that bravery, decision-making ability, rarely put a pass wrong. He still, when he gets forward, is able to pick out a pass like the one for Roberts against Brighton, and, he picks the right pass. He's not one of these that's deliberating and missing an opportunity because he's hanging on to it too long. He'll just get the ball into people quickly enough that they can get a shot off. So I'm going to say Adam Forshaw, and God bless him, from where he's come from to where he's playing and the levels he's playing at, and the fitness that he's got just goes to show that, he doesn't need any games in the under-23s anymore, or, he's absolutely hit the ground running in that first team, and he's, as I say, arguably he's been man at match in every game he's started. So Forshaw for me.
Okay. Rob?
Yeah, mine would have been Forshaw for all the reasons that Ewan's just said, but I'll go instead then for the Iceman Meslier for back-to-back clean sheets. I think, although not vintage goalkeeping performances, that scramble for the goal line, saved us against Palace, and he looks a bit more confident from corners these days again. So yeah, just without overanalyzing it, I would have gone Forshaw, but I'll say Meslier then, because back-to-back clean sheets with the run of form we were on is, I think, noteworthy.
I'll tell you what, we slagged his distribution off on Monday because his distribution has been really poor.
It's gone downhill, hasn't it?
It's amazing. His distribution was a lot better as well.
Yeah, it was.
He looked more confident. The whole, like I said, the pre-match stuff I picked as my magic moment, but the players looked more aware of like the magnitude of what it is that they needed to do on Tuesday. And it felt like the last 20, 30 minutes of the Wolves game but it felt like that from the first whistle. I think someone in the comments mentioned the first 15 minutes, we were up for it. We were in their faces. We didn't give them space. It was only Ayew terrorising Struijk that really gave them an outlet. So, I liked Meslier on Tuesday. And yeah, you've gone Forshaw, so I'll go Meslier.
Okay, what it?
Nice. Dallas for me. Dallas all day long. I can't even tell you how much I love that man. He's just Mr. Dependable wherever he is, and Zaha is by far their best player. He's the most dangerous player, he's the most attacking player. He's got the most skill, got the most flair. And let's be honest, Dallas was just on him all game. Had a bit of, like I say there, rammed him up. He really did. He really got in his face. And to be honest, you don't see that much from Dallas. I think he's quite sneaky with it, but he really did get to him. And more of it, because you keep them big players quiet, like he did last night. They're not going to do anything. And that tackle that he did with his head, I mean, come on, he's got some bollocks to just be throwing his head down there. And, he could have got stamped on, he could have got kicked in the head. I know it was a bit of a fall, but you could see him last minute just try and get something on it. And of course, Zaha tried to say that was handball, whinging in the ref's face, but enough of Zaha. Dallas.
It was a very, very Phil Jones moment, wasn't it?
It was, but almost like calculated, and it was a goal kick from it. He got it off Zaha's leg and out for a goal kick. So yeah, Dallas was just immense, and yeah, I just love that man, and he's getting better this season as well. He really is. So yeah, it's Dallas for me.
Did you see
you love him so much you've started to look like he was morphing into it.
I'll tell that, he's a good looking man.
Did you see Warden before the World Cup incident with Raf?
Yeah.
Did you see the celebration? Because he was like that side of the goalpost, wasn't he? And he just went, when the pen went in, he just looked like he was going to transform into the Hulk. He just went mental.
He loves it. He loves Leeds. He knows what it is to be Leeds. And, we need more players like that are just fully submerged in Leeds. And like you say, Rob, he proper just jumped up on his own.
Yeah, crazy, weren't he, on a solo celebration?
Meant so much to him and to the whole team as well, yeah.
So Forshaw was mine, and then my second one was Dallas. My third man of the match is Dan James. I think the number of tackles for a winger, very, very impressive. His energy, getting back into position at times is just immense. Not just against Palace, but also against Brighton. He goes from one box to the other and he's playing on the left wing, but he ends up in a right back position, or you know what I mean, like making a block or an interception in our own box, and then he's off again. He's just got so much energy, and the way that he threw his body into tackles lifted the whole crowd and lifted the whole team. And when you have players in your squad that are going to put their body on the line for the team, it gives others the belief, and it shows the way. He's never shying away from anything. He's always trying to make something happen, either have a shot or an assist. That ball for Rodrigo should have been an assist.
Yeah.
He got in exactly the right place. He put it on an absolute plate for Rodrigo. 3 yards out, you have to, at the very least, hit the target.
It was on his left as well. He just could have straight on.
He tried to take a touch, didn't he? But
yeah,
it bobbled off him. He should have put his laces through it and just twatted it towards goal.
You just need to dink it. It's coming across the goal. Just keeper's already down. Just dink it. And he tried to take it round him, didn't he? And went wrong way. It's like, oh dear.
Yep, slide it into the. That's what I would have done. Slid it into the near post. Got no chance. Keeper's too close to it. He can't dive. Can't react quick enough when you're in that position. Just need to hit it first time. But he's lacking confidence. And he was on the bench, and they're all lacking confidence. But the thing was energy, and that's what Dan James brought, and that's why he was my man of the match. There we go.
Got to say, speaking of celebrations, did you see Firpo's on the halfway line when he went onto his knee with the hands up?
Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah.
And I thought, to be fair, he had when it first came on and he gave that ball away and then looked the slowest fullback ever chasing it back and then gave the free kicker on the edge of the area. I thought, oh, here we go. Yeah. And I tell you what, he settled down and he played really well going forward. I'm not convinced he's a great defender, but I'll tell you what, going forward, I think he's going to be decent.
Yeah, he was overlapping.
Quickly overcame his wobble, didn't he?
He did, he played really well.
Yeah, was his best performance.
Yeah,
by far in a Leeds shirt. Underlapping runs, overlapping runs, and link-up play. Really, really nice, causing their right back all sorts of trouble. Finding loads of space down the left and putting in some lovely balls as well. And that's all you can really ask for. He was a threat down that left-hand side, and that's what we need in this system. That's what I liked about the under-23s when I saw Luke Ayling, because Ayling was bombing down the wing, getting to that byline and crossing the ball in, and that's what a Bielsa team looks like. And Strauch, as strong and solid as he is, was never really going to offer us the same threat going forward. Fantastic to see, and again, somebody who's come in for a lot of maybe deserved criticism, maybe undeserved abuse, but performed well and did gave a performance that he can build on. Okay, we've got about 5-6 minutes left, so if you want to get in some last minute comments, and then we can read them out, and we can talk about Brighton while we do it. Brentford while we do it. So, Thomas Frank, bit of a cunt, isn't he?
He needs a wash. He looks dirty.
He needs a wash.
He needs a shower.
He looks like one of them fucking blokes who plays the bloody, what's it called? Fucking. He plays the accordion in Montmartre or something in Paris. Greasy, horrible, fucking smarmy, arrogant-looking prick. Yeah. Apart from that, he's all right. Yeah, I like him.
He needs a wish. That's going to make me laugh for days. Like.
It does.
Oh.
She's smelly cunt.
He was chasing us down in the Championship.
Yeah.
What happened to that, eh? What happened to that?
Fucking hell, I took the time.
What annoys me about Brentford, and I don't mind the community aspect of the club, considering where they are geographically, all the London clubs surrounding them, etc., etc. But what annoys me about Brentford is everyone, after a few good performances this year, said, "Oh, they're the new Leeds, who were the new Sheffield United." There's no way they're finishing 9th or anywhere close to 9th, and I'm pretty confident we will not only leapfrog them, but they will find themselves a lot closer to 17th than we will in terms of danger this year. I don't get how anyone thought that they would be challenging for a top half position. I can't. It doesn't compute in my brain now.
No. Yeah. Bang average. Let's do him. Fuck him.
Having said that, we need to beat him on Sunday. Otherwise, I'll look pretty stupid.
I think they'll frustrate us. I think they're well organised. They've got some strength in the team, but we should beat them. I think if we're on, it's amazing how your mentality changes from Monday to now. I'd have probably said on Monday, I said that I thought we'd struggle to break down Palace, which you could argue we did a little bit, but we played a lot better. I still think it'll be a tough game, but as I said a while ago, I think we're going to fight in every game to get a point and get the goals.
Yeah.
The goals aren't flowing, the chances aren't coming. So again, if we can similar performance and eke a win out of it and get a goal, get a couple of goals and beat them, great. That's all we need to be doing at the minute is scratching results from wherever we can get them. I do think we can get at. People like Pontus will come. You know what he's like. He's full of bravado. He'll want to have a good game. He'll be coming forward for them stupid long throws. I think we can break against them and maybe catch him out. I'd like to think we'll get 3 points, and I think we're probably going into December. The fixtures we've got need another 3 points.
Okay, the good news: their first choice goalkeeper is out. He's a long-term absentee, having suffered ligament damage to his knee.
Didn't someone say in the comments, I think Canos and Pontus are both, if they get a yellow card tonight, they miss Sunday anyway.
That Canos is a proper penis, man. Honestly, I can't stand it.
They're both on. I'm sure they're both on enough cards that if one of them or both of them get a yellow tonight, they miss the game. I don't quote me on that, but I think it came
it's right.
I think
it's right. Yeah.
Sorry, we've had a few comments and I haven't been able to get to them all, and obviously we're 4 of us here tonight, so sorry about that, but I've put you all on screen now, so we'll get around to them soon. But I think it was it 3? They're both on 3. Anyway, if you wrote that comment, which I now can't find, look at this professionalism. Just please write it again.
Copy and paste.
Josh De Silva is one of their first choice midfielders. He's out as well. They've got a Norwegian centre-back who is out. Christopher Arger. Matthias Jorgensen, Danish centre-back. Do you know, we've been watching a Danish show recently. It's called Borgen. You ever seen that?
No.
Very good. I highly recommend it. Very good. Very good. Borgen. Yeah, it's about a sort of Danish political drama.
Sounds riveting. I thought you meant that bread with loads of seeds in it you get from Tesco's.
Oh yeah, is it?
Good bread, that.
Is it? Borgen?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I am going to have to be unprofessional and bid you farewell, my good sir.
Cheese toasties.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob.
See you, Rob, lad.
Apologies, I have to disappear. But
right,
thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks for having me on as always.
Take care.
Cheers, Rob.
Yeah, it was Michael Brown, a team of Michael Browns. He put on about Norgard and Canos are a yellow card away from suspension from the Leeds United match. And Canos, I would not miss him at all because he's
he scored an own goal tonight, so he's off to a good start.
If he does that, he can play again on Sunday.
Yeah. Keep him around.
Yeah. I think it's going to be another tight game. I think it'll be a lot like Palace will Sunday. But I'm off and I can't bloody wait. And like you said, Ewan, it's what we need before this tough run of games. But we are getting better, and I think the Ellenborough crowd will definitely help. And like you say, Pontus Janssen, he gets easily rattled. We know he can get in his head. And like you say, he'll want to impress. So that's one player we can target, and I'm sure they'll be on the wind up with him. I'm a lot more confident now. I know the performance wasn't fully there, but it's better. It is getting better. The sharpness is getting back. It's just that final third. But look, if Bamford's back, brilliant. I hope he's at least on the bench. I really do. And like we said before, there's big players coming back now, and it's only going to get better from here. And if we have all our big players back by the time we play all these so-called top 6, then brilliant. That's exactly what we need. And I think we're missing Bamford still, aren't we? So I'm looking forward to having him back. But
you've got that. The other issue is, so let's say Ayling comes back and Bamford comes back. Who drops out? Because do you then put Dallas to left back and danger, put a risk to Firpo, who looks confident again now, or do you keep with Firpo now, or do you?
I'd
don't
keep
want to
Dallas.
Where does Dallas play though?
Left back,
Midfield?
I'd say put him at left back. He's looked solid there.
Yeah, I suppose you could an argument for playing him where Klitsch played, didn't there? But otherwise, you then start to tinker about again. Should we stick with square pegs in square holes? It's everything that happens creates its own challenges, his own opportunities, but come with it a few headaches, don't they?
Yeah, it's good challenge to have having more players.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So we've played Brentford 5 times under Bielsa. We won 1-0 the first game, February 2018. Then we drew 1-1, and 2019 we lost 2-0. Only time we've lost, and that was away in April.
I remember that. Yeah.
Then we beat them 21st of August, and then we played them February 2020, and we drew 1-1. So that was the last season we played them. We beat them 1-0 and drew 1-0. So it's been fairly tight, I'd say.
Yeah,
well, that draw was the Cooper equaliser, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, and it was the Casilla dodgy.
Yeah, and it was kind of a turning point for us a little bit. That draw, it earned us a draw that we'd been on a bad run of form. That kind of got us back to sort of. So hopefully, we're in the same place. But I'd love to beat them. I think they're one of them games, a bit like last year, that they're the kind of games you need to be winning now to make sure you don't. Dabble too much with that bottom 3 or 4. I don't want to be anywhere near that come the last 5 or 6 games because you just don't want to get sucked into it, do you? You want to be kind of reasonably safe.
100%.
Yep, and another little bit of information. Apparently, we're looking at Ben Brereton.
Yeah, Diaz.
Yes. Benjamin Anthony Brereton Diaz. 16 goals in 20 games. For Blackburn this
Blackburn, right? Okay.
He's actually a Chilean international. He's just added Diaz to his name. I think he had a vote by the fans as to what his Chilean name should be, and that's what came out. Diaz. So if you ever read the story, it's a really mad story. That, and to be fair, we were linked with him when we came up. Leeds were linked with him at the time when we got promoted to be sort of a support to Bamford, but. He just seems to keep getting better and better. I saw a goal he scored for Chile the other day, and the actual ground went absolutely mental, and they love him over there. So, he's the least Chilean-looking guy you'll ever see. I don't know. Again, there's an amazing story if you can get to read it. It's
I'll go that.
Yep. So I'm all in favour of that. Have a bit of that. Okay. Last few comments then. Borgen is excellent, says Gordon White. It is. It's very good. We've been speaking Danish to each other, Noah and I. Not really, but just like hi, like hello, and thanks.
That's not
which
Danish.
is tack. Hi, it is. It's like hi.
Why is it?
Yeah, it's weird. Bandit. Anyway, enough of Danish. Bandit. We started off speaking German. We're going to finish speaking Danish. What's going on?
Multicultural. We're like proper Europeans, us guy.
Right. Okay. Remainers. Or is it re-enterers? I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Re-enterer.
Okay.
Me and Sam aren't doing that again. Fuck that.
Yeah. Happened once, isn't it? Ended messy.
Which one goes first?
I'm a receiver, not a giver.
Okay.
A very receiving mother.
That lazy bastard.
Bandit, is it possible for Newcastle not to win a game this season? It's possible,
yeah.
Bandit.
How
It's
good would that
possible.
be if they went down? Saudi owners pulled out. Fuck you, we're leaving. Oh, brilliant, wouldn't it?
I just want to see that woman who's got a completely expressionless face. Pull her, we're getting relegated face because I don't know. It looks
exactly the same.
All the other faces. Yeah.
It's so weird that, isn't it? I mean, if you're watching this and thinking of getting plastic surgery, nobody watching this is thinking of getting plastic surgery. But if you are, just don't.
I reckon Paul Hunt's going to get some.
Never looks good.
Poor Paul.
Yeah, I reckon Paul
Hunt. Will we reassess what's possible after Brentford? I think we'll reassess what's possible after Chelsea away, City away, Liverpool away.
Yeah.
Tests. Big ones.
It's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you. Don't get too excited or don't get too down. It's like, I think I still hold with my mentality that it's going to be a struggle this year and we'll be up and down a bit. And as long as we stay in the league, and like I said, I don't want to be down there, bottom 3 or 4, come the last 5 or 6 games, because too many people want to see us fail, and it'll be extra effort and impetus put on those games. So, and the nerves on our players, it's shown already that we haven't responded well. Maybe playing a full season at Ellen Road with crowds in there might help, because actually you forget that a lot of them last year, as much as they played in the Championship, it's not quite the same as playing in the Premier League. You know, the atmosphere at Ellen Road is unlike any other, and I think some players haven't coped with it well, even players who've been here a while, playing predominantly behind closed doors. You know, Firpo, you could argue, same. So yeah, we'll see.
I mean, he was at Barcelona before, to be fair.
Yeah, but how many times did he play for Barcelona?
Yeah, I've got no idea. Probably more times than Kiko played for Real Madrid, though.
True enough, but he was shit and all, so that's not it.
Yeah, but to be fair, they were both playing left back, I'm pretty sure.
Hey.
Hey. I think it's about energy, isn't it? Just that's the currency of life, isn't it? I mean, what you get out, what you put in. So you keep just fucking going for it. You know what I mean? Like, do whatever you've got to do. Jamie Vardy has a Red Bull before he goes on. You know,
Is it a glass of port as well?
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's a Red Bull, 2 Red Bulls, a ham and cheese sandwich, and a glass of port. That's what he has for every game.
Whatever gets you going, you know.
Proper working class lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
I can't play without my Red Bulls. Fuck's sake.
Whatever you need.
I've told you when I played for Prince Philip's, Winnie Manners, God rest his soul, when it was cold, he used to run out the change room and be stood at the door and give you a shot of rum. So you know, I once scored a hat trick after one of those, pre-game warm-ups. So you know, it worked for me. I always like to drop a rum.
Yeah. As long as it's not like a hash cookie or something, you know. They'll probably take you the other way, you know.
That's for the aftermatch.
Yeah,
it's warm down that.
Michael
Brown. Hopefully Bamford and Ayling might be available for the Brentford match. I think
that'd be nice.
Could be on the bench, maybe.
Yeah, I think at least Bamford will, because he only played 45. Oh no, he played the 90, didn't he?
He played 90.
Yeah, 90 plus 7.
So you think if he's playing the full game, he must be somewhere near.
Paul Hunt, Bielsa gets options. Toby Hutter, win on Sunday. We're 11th. Mad in it. We're all going on a European tour.
Where's your socks at? Come on.
I ain't got any on, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm flip-flops.
Too cold for that.
Yeah.
Bremner's Ghost, hasn't Kiko been dropped from his new team for doing Kiko things?
Yes.
Nora Kiko things with a laughing crying emoji. Do you know what? It's just one of those things where, you know, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. You see? No. You've got him now.
Yeah.
Elche, isn't it? Somebody like that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But he will be coming back to us.
You just click translate tweets and it's all like, he really should have had the responsibility to do more about these goals.
Oh, Kiko.
Where does he exert himself to? Question mark. This is far outside the jurisdiction of his remit. You know. Thanks, translate.
In any language, Kiko's shit.
Yeah, the bottom line is,
Michael Brown, I can see Burnley avoiding the drop. They are street fighters, and in a similar position last season, they escaped the drop by digging out results like they're doing in their last few games.
Yeah, said it the other day.
Yep. You know, I think we did like the highlights of a watch along, and I said something while we were watching Burnley, and I was like, I bet he threatens their kids, you know. I wonder, like, you know, he's standing on the side of the pitch and he's like, run, boys, you know.
Yeah.
Remember, I've got your kids.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you don't make that last ditch tackle and fucking kill somebody, then you're going to be working in warehouse next week. You know, fucking pull your finger out, bastards.
The Andy Bentley. I heard Jason Cunty yesterday. It's amazing how much better he is at football since he retired.
Tell Andy's living abroad because his language is superb. He's multilingual. Swears in every known language to man.
Toby Hutter, I think Bamford will be ready for Chelsea. Bielsa said next week. And Rusty Smith, cheers, guys. I have to run. Cheers, Rusty.
Cheers, Rust.
Take care, mate.
Rightio. Last minute comments, so get them all in. And if you haven't done so, please put a like on the YouTube video. That'd be fan-bloody-tastic.
What predicting? What's the scoreline for Sunday?
Score prediction.
2-1 Leeds.
Yeah.
What it?
2-1. Yeah, I agree. 2-1. Tight 2-1. I think maybe quite a late winner for us.
I'm gonna say 3-2 Leeds. Last minute winner.
Again.
Pontus Janssen own goal, and keep those defibrillators at the ready. And well done to all the lifesavers out there. Bremnis goes 2-0 Leeds. The Andy Bentley 3-1. Toby Hutter 2-0 Leeds. James in Dallas. Nora says 2-1 Leeds as well. And Michael Brown, excellent podcast content. Guys, keep up the good work.
You can come again, Michael. Thank you.
Brownie.
Yep. Thank you very much. Right. Is that it?
Final thoughts?
I think it is, yeah.
We're not doing final thoughts this week.
Yeah, go on then. Go on.
I ain't got any. I fucking provoked it and I haven't even got one. So
Yeah, I'm going to say we did.
Final thoughts, guys. My last bloody night of lockdown. I'm going stir
Enjoy.
crazy. I've not been out the house for 10 days and I'm off to watch a band tomorrow night and then I'm out on Saturday at 50th. So I'll probably be very, very drunk somewhere for the next few days. So forgive me.
Enjoy, mate.
Hear from me or see me. Yeah, cheers.
Enjoy.
Well, have a water. Give us 3 rings.
Yeah.
Will do. Of course I will. Always.
What it?
Yeah, just really looking forward to Sunday. I'm being able to get to many this season. This is one that me and my dad are going to. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. It should be a good atmosphere. And, 3 points. Let's fucking do it, lads. Come on.
Come on.
Don't be ringing me, asking me advice on where to go drinking and eating on Sunday then.
You're my tour guide, aren't you?
I know I am. I'm like, what is it? Information centre, tourist information centre for Wadi and his dad and his girlfriend and anybody else who cares to ring me.
Yeah, that is good info, mate.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I like it.
All right. Well, cheers to everyone, especially Thomas Frank. I hope you were watching that.
Yeah.
Fucking soap dodger.
Yeah, he is a proper soap dodger. He looks like he's like, I don't know, a bit like got moss on him or a bit of dust or something. Just give him a wipe or something.
Bit of liching.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's like? The fucking Cooper and all, man. That's what he looks like.
He's a finger sniffer for sure.
He's been varnished. Oh, he's definitely a finger sniffer.
Yeah. A bit like, what was the German manager?
Joachim Löw.
Yeah, a bit one of them, I think.
Yeah.
He's Joachim Löw's ugly cousin.
Yeah, I don't want to see him lauding it, walking around Ellen Road, giving it the big fucking I am in. Yeah, that's not happening. If it is, I hope somebody comes out of the stand and fucking slide tackles him into next week.
Yes. And Janssen is gonna be annoying, isn't he? That's going to be the other story about it. He's going to make it all about himself, like he never did at Leeds. It's so weird how much he's changed.
Yeah. And they've given him the captain's armband. His ego will be through the roof now.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah.
Right up.
Right,
Come on, Leeds. Come on.